The question more is less about what's the maturity level, but if you were starting a new GBS today, a new journey, and had a magic wand, what would you wish for to accelerate your journey to maturity?
I think the main thing today, um, that is on the mind of many GBS heads and GBS leaders is what to do with this thing of AI. How does that play into my operation? How does it play into my company? Many companies are asking these questions, right? Because there's this supposedly $1 trillion value out there that is to be had. So if there's a magic wand, it would be get the answer to how to deploy this stuff and how to deploy this properly and profoundly. I mean, next week I have
Mm.
about 25 heads of GBS together in Amsterdam, and we're going to talk about AI. And these are big successful companies, big successful GBS organizations, and very few of them actually have figured out what to do with this yet, right? Um,
Yeah,
and so magic wand wide, knowing what to do with AI would be very useful, I think, at this point in time.
I
And
really
hence,
wish I was there. I wish I was there, Robert. I'd love to hear that conversation. Matthias?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna build on Roberts a little bit in that 2 weeks ago we took a trip to California to meet with OpenAI, Google, Meta, Adobe, just to understand kind of the art of the possible, what's happening, so to speak. And it was very humbling, let's call it that way.
Mm. Mm.
And I had to give myself a big pep talk flying back, and you see all these smart people working 16 hours a day, reinventing the world around us. But the good news is, like, everybody feels behind on this topic, and nobody has been able to scale.
yeah,
And when you hear these great stories on LinkedIn or that, I can promise you half of it is bluff, if not 90%.
yeah,
Um, but I do think, to Robert's point, like, if you come back to the cross-cutting capabilities that he and I were discussing in the book, I think there is something that, as I'm talking here at McDonald's about AI, and I have a voice in the company, and GBS has a big voice on AI. Think about what is GBS about and what is our strength is our ability to, work with business leaders to create a North Star vision and then have the transformation programs and tools to then deploy and ensure adoption and ensure value of these initiatives. All of those capabilities that are inherent to a GBS construct apply to AI. Right? AI is not a tool, right? I mean, yes, we can just bring technology to the organization, no different than just another tool we did in the 90s, in the 2000s, 2010s. But unless there is adoption, unless there is rewiring of business processes, unless there is
Mm.
the change component that Robert talked about earlier, and the importance of that, none of this will stick. So naturally, I think companies will look to a GBS organization to help, bring the AI through the organization and ensure there is actually a return on the investment.
yeah. I totally second that. And actually, in preparing for next week's session, I spoke to most of the companies that are coming, and all of them are saying that either they're, like Matthias says, they're being asked to take a leadership role in AI in their enterprise, or their AI teams, their IT teams are actually automatically navigating towards GBS because that's space where there's fruitful ground to work with. Whereas it's harder in other areas. It's harder. So I totally second that. This is a big
Mm.
opportunity with GBS.